Walt Disney Pictures and Jerry Bruckheimer, the team behind the immensely successful Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy, is back with another big-screen extravaganza. The Sorcerer's Apprentice is an epic comedy adventure about a sorcerer and his reluctant protege who are swept into the center of an ancient conflict between good and evil. Jay Baruchel plays Dave, the hapless apprentice who doesn't realize he's just landed the coolest job ever.
When we meet up with Dave, his biggest concern is just kind of finishing his thesis project, and then he, develops an affinity for this girl, Becky.
Thank you!
Academy Award winner Nicolas Cage plays Balthazar Blake, a master sorcerer living in modern-day Manhattan. Blake's mission is to defend the city from his arch-nemesis Horvath, who is out to subjugate mankind and dominate the world.
He's a very ancient wizard hailing back to the time of Merlin. He was in fact Merlin's apprentice. And he needs to find his apprentice who is the prime Merlinian, the only one who can wear the dragon ring, who can hearken to the power of Merlin and therefore tip the balance in the right direction.
This is not Dave's first run-in with Balthazar. At the age of 10, he experienced a traumatizing event involving the master sorcerer and his evil nemesis.
When Nick's character shows up again, David tried his best, for a decade to convince himself that what happened when he was a kid didn't actually happen, that it was just a glucose imbalance and hallucinations are not uncommon in young subjects. And then when this guy shows up, it's off, for God's sakes, all over again.
Hello, Dave.
You are going to be a force for good and a very important sorcerer.
What?
What I love about Dave is that he complains a lot. In the context of this millennia-long struggle between Morgana and Merlin and good and evil sorcerers, Dave is still just complaining about the shoes he has to wear.
Every sorcerer needs a nice pair of pointy shoes.
These are old man shoes.
Excuse me?
I love them.
A native of Montreal, Jay Baruchel landed his first acting job at the age of 12 on a hit children's TV series. His career took off very quickly with roles opposite Clint Eastwood in $1 Million Baby and Ben Stiller and Robert Downey Jr. in the blockbuster hit Tropic Thunder. He recently starred in the romantic comedy She's Out of My League, as well as the animated hit How to Train Your Dragon.
There's a bunch of me in every character I play. I'm a huge nerd, and my favorite stuff and my whole life has been stuff where guys shoot energy out of their hands at monsters.
Jerry Bruckheimer has for over 35 years produced films and television programs of the highest distinction and quality, in the process becoming the most successful producer of all time in both mediums.
He's a good actor. He's handsome, and he's quirky, he's interesting, he's funny. You want somebody with a great sense of humor, and he brings that to the table. And there's great chemistry between Nick and Jay.
Sorcerer's Apprentice is inspired by Fantasia, the classic 1940 Walt Disney animated feature starring Mickey Mouse in the title role of the Sorcerer's Apprentice. 70 years later, director John Turteltaub has created an all-new live-action adventure which pays homage to the classic with a spectacular scene in which the apprentice tries out his new skills with disastrous results.
If someone was to make a montage of the most iconic film sequences of the last 100 years, it would be Orson Welles saying Rosebud, and then it would be Mickey and the Mob. It's like one of those that means a lot to a lot of people, and so I went to work every day for 5 days with this weight on my shoulders, a sense of gravity that I'm kind of touching greatness. I just couldn't mess up. I really just did not want to mess up. I like to say that I had sort of tall gloves to fill, Mickey's gloves.
Tall white gloves.
Tall, big white gloves to fill.
Featuring a stellar ensemble of actors including Alfred Molina, Teresa Palmer, Monica Bellucci, and Toby Kebbell, The Sorcerer's Apprentice is movie entertainment at its best. It is bound to delight audiences with its enormous scope, dazzling effects, and phenomenal non-stop action.